Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family. I hope everybody is doing well out there. And if you're not doing well, I hope you have the resources, the peace of mind to go within and churn that about because we are in some turbulent times, guys. These are key times. I really do think that when all is said and done, August 2026 is going to be it's a turning point month. It's a monumental month. It's perhaps the most challenging month we've had yet, even including, January 2020 and other times in the past where we've had some real chaos. The world is shifting. The world is changing. It's inevitable. It has to change. This is what came through today as far as in our reading. What we are being asked to do is to maintain a positive look, recognize that you are creating your world as you go. We are co-creating the world that we share together as we go. Each one of us has a lot more power than we believe we do, typically, to change things. It's really all about our outlook. We may not be able to control every detail of every situation, every conflict, every health threat, every economic threat. We can control that which we have dominion over, which is our reactions. And again, our emotions, our reactions, those are the things we need to be cultivating positively. Recognize this is the death of a system that has not been a benevolent system. It hasn't been about equality and love and peace and oneness and togetherness. No, it's been quite the opposite. And yet we are on the ascension part of the wheel of time. And again, time itself is ultimately an illusion. Yet when we're embodied in this vehicle, because again, our body is a vehicle, it gives us the appearance of linear time. Yet we are more powerful than we think. And at the same time, there's so many other variables going into effect right now. If you look at the KP, it's been between 0 and maybe 1.15, 1.12. That is extremely quiet. Why? Now, that's unusually quiet, too. So why is it so quiet? I think because the sun is giving us a chance right now to purge. We are being faced with facing ourselves at this point in time. This is one of the things to realize. Each individual ascends individually, and you ascend at your own pace. Then we also have various collectives within this reality. You have your soul tribe and your soul family, and they're ascending at a certain pace. You may find that you had a great day yesterday, but today you feel miserable. Your spouse was miserable yesterday, today it feels great. Again, each is a unique fractal of the one source. As we go more into the ascension cycle, we are going to understand more and more about the bigger picture of reality and the fact that all this is for our growth. Everything is for our growth. Right now, we are being asked to let things go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Because if we don't let it go, it's going to drown us like a rock tied around the neck by a rope and us being thrown overboard into the ocean. This is the time where we have to sink or swim. Which will it be? It's up to each of us to decide. Looking at the Schumann resonance today, you can see we've had whiteout period after whiteout period. It seems to be very intense and an ongoing cycle of intensity that really tells you there is some serious change afoot. Serious change. It seems like everybody we are working with, they are going through some roller coasters of emotions and feelings, and literally not even on a day-to-day basis. Yeah, it is day-to-day, but also on an hour-by-hour basis. Literally, hour by hour, moment by moment, going from feeling pretty good to all of a sudden, bouts of anxiety and fear, going to feeling pretty upbeat and like, hey, things are going to get a little bit better here. And then all of a sudden thinking it's the end of the world, and that washes over you. what's happening is we're being cleansed energetically by the energy from not just our own sun, the great central sun, and also all of the divine beings in the cosmos itself out there. We are going through a purge. This is a huge purge. I think, again, August 2026, we haven't seen anything like this in our lifetimes. It's going to be monumental. And it's also, it's like the first rock in a new path being laid. And literally, we have to shed our old ways that are not of our highest good, not of or for our highest good. And we have to decide that we will keep moving forward as the best version of ourselves possible. There is a split that's underway right now. In fact, it's accelerating. We will do more on this in future videos, going more into things like the rapture and things like that. Because yes, I do think we are going to be seeing that a lot of people are going to be dropping off at this point in time. And it might look like a lot of different things. It could be relational breakups. It could be leaving the physical body in many, many different ways. Again, this is a time of change. It's the biggest time of change that we've really faced up to this point. And we watch that in the world. The geopolitical situation is so tense and ominous. It's that way on purpose, because where we should be right now, going inward, realizing the things that no longer serve us in our life, realizing, doing kind of like a past life review, while we're still alive. This is kind of what we're being asked to do, is to do a life review while you're still alive in order to learn as much as you can and let go of all that which does not serve you. It's not an easy thing. You're not being asked to do something easy, because this is also not just about you. It literally goes back into your ancestry and your DNA lineage. It even goes into your star family. And of course, it incorporates everything we've gone through from childhood trauma to this very point in time. So, again, listen to your body. Do things as gentle as possible. Totally honestly, I have a tendency to overdo things. I have a tendency to overwork. I have a tendency to overexert with exercise, and at times overeat. This is the time to find our balance. All things in moderation. Recognize you're going to need a lot more sleep and rest than you did in other times. Yeah, absolutely. Everything is changing. The very ether is changing. We've gotten that message from the guides. The very ether, that which the four elements that make up this reality come from, is changing. If the ether is changing, if the ether is becoming lighter, of a higher frequency, a higher dimensional perspective, and then all the elements are going to be the same way. And then our body has to change. It just has to change. As many of you know, your entire gut, as far as the cells go, they're changed every week. Literally, some every 3 days. You're getting new cells coming in, old cells leaving. And again, recognize that we are a cell in the earth, and the earth is a cell in something bigger. And our universe is just one universe among an infinite number of universes. Also, our universe has so many different parallel realities that it's mind-boggling. It's an infinite number of parallel realities that as we've talked about in the past. So you have to decide, what reality do you want to be in? It's not up to anybody else. It's up to you. And again, you are having this experience from your perspective, and that's the way it's supposed to be. We are each unique fractals of the one true source. And that source is beyond our comprehension while embodied, but it is touching us, and we are in it, and it is in us, and we are it, and it is us. And we have to recognize that we're being given an opportunity to move upwards, and then move onward into an all-new path. This world system is falling apart and dying, and that's a painful death. It will die, it will pass away. And this is the time or we have to decide, what do we want? We as individuals. There is we as a collective, and we can do as much as we can to help others, but you cannot make another person more awake. You could give them information. You could try to help them to see things from new perspectives. You can't do it for them. Just like, no doctor, no nutritionist, no energy healer is really the one that actually makes the healing happen. We could, at times, allow a higher energy to flow with which the individual can resonate with, and then be able to move on from what was trapping them in a narrow field, in a lower vibration. But we cannot do it from them. We could remove entities. We could purge, again, toxic things. But it's up to the individual. So again, each one of us has to face our own individual hang-ups, our own individual fears, our own individual desires for this life, and we have to work on ourselves right now. We're being asked to work on ourselves as our number one priority. You need to prioritize you right now above all others. It's a difficult time, and this is a different time than what we've been exposed to before. This consciousness, which the Schumann resonance represents, shows us that we are going to all new places, and that's great because we have been in the muck and the mire. Some have called Earth during a Kali Yuga the death realm, or even a hellish realm. And yes, compared to all the other realms that are out there, it very much may be that way in a comparison. We are heading to much more positive times. We are heading to much more benevolent times, much more loving times, times when people will automatically go to help the other person up when they fall. Times when, if somebody dropped their wallet, automatically people would never think of snatching it. No, they would run immediately and go give it to them. It's going to be a change in perspective. There's going to be a change in the way things are done. And again, there's going to be a change within all of us. We are all going to change, but we are being asked, what way do we want to change? In what direction do we want to go? This is the key. The answer is really unique for each one of us. It's almost like we are all here. We have all agreed to come into this reality, which is a virtual reality. We are all kind of sitting somewhere else. We all have VR headsets on. We are all experiencing interaction with each other, but the interaction with each other that we're having is in avatar form, in a way. And so recognize that, because, our expectations from others, again, we have to realize that we're all unique and we're not going to see things the same. So we should not focus on, quote unquote, saving others from hell and damnation. No, we need to be looking at ourselves. How can I make myself a better version of me? How can I make myself the best version of me? How can I maximize my time in this body? How can I, again, carry out that which I wanted to carry out before I ever took my first breath? Because you had a plan. Many times people will say, oh, God has a plan, and I trust that plan. But really, what God's plan is to let you do your own thing. And in reality, when you're talking about that plan, you should really be seeing it as, well, my higher self had a plan. And maybe I don't know what that plan is at all at this point in time. Maybe I had a clue, but I lost it. I went astray. You're trying to figure out what your higher plan was for you coming from the higher self, which, again, one of the best ways to do that is to have your Vedic astrology charts read. There are many Vedic astrology charts, not just the natal chart, and that could give you a clue into your life's purpose, definitely. But also, there's many other things that can be clues into your life's purpose. You want to come into agreement and alignment, quote unquote, with your higher self, which many people just automatically put the word God in there. But in the bigger scheme of things, the creator, the source, the one, we are all its children. and it wants us to do our own thing. That's why there are an infinite number of varieties. It's not just all vanilla or chocolate or occasionally strawberry. No, there's all the flavors that could ever be conceived are possible and are there. And that's the thing to realize. Your purpose is to really come to know yourself. It's to know the higher self. That is what your entire purpose is to understand yourself. When Yeshua said, and I do think he said this, I and the Father are one. I and my Father are one, right? What he says is, I know my purpose embodied, and I know my purpose from the higher self perspective. Because who is your father or your mother? It's ultimately the higher self that comes into the body, has a case of amnesia, and then is off on the road to self-discovery. So this is what we're being asked to do right now. Get to know yourself. Know thyself. That is the priority at this point in time. And the more you know yourself and the more you come into alignment, the better things will flow. The health problems will start to diminish. Again, the higher self has a plan. The higher self even knows different points in time that are optimal for it to leave this reality. And it knows that in advance. You could tell that when you look at a Varshafala chart. The Varshafala chart is the chart of your current birth year. And, personally, I'm going through a lot right now because I know I am being asked to become a better version of myself than I have been like the past year. And, this is what I'm realizing right now. I've had times when I was really strongly in alignment with myself, and I've had times when I've fallen out of that alignment with myself. So now is a time for introspection. Really know you, come to know you. That's the most important thing. That is the number one most important thing, is to know your will, but not the will of the little you, not the little ego that is like, well, we need to have a bigger house, a bigger car. Well, we need this. Well, I just want that Domino's triple cheese pizza with pepperoni and everything. No, not that. The higher self. Know thyself like the higher self, not addictions, not all the temptations of the lower self, the ego, and that which the whole world tempts us with. Buddha said this world is Maya. It's illusion. That is completely true. It is a holographic illusion. The real you is residing on a much higher dimension and watching all this transpire. But we are to be fully engaged with it while we are embodied. And that's the most important thing. Fully engage in the now. Be very fully present every moment. And look for the opportunities to learn in every moment. So as always, guys, I want to thank you again for your support being part of this family. If you need energy work, biofield tuning, if you want to get your Vedic astrology charts looked at, again, not just your natal chart, but also your Varshafala, and see where you are at this point in time, at this very day or hour. That's available. We could do that too. Health coaching, ascension support, life coaching, entity clearing, attachment clearing. We could do it all. Again, we work on a donation basis simply because we understand, some people have plenty of money. Other people literally are struggling week to week. That's a big difference. And so we want to work with you. There are suggested donations under every single video. We've worked with thousands of people on every continent and, countless countries on the planet. And there are just a few testimonials up there. There's a lot more that we still have to post up on the website as the website's in progress. And there's a lot of changes coming too. So again, we thank you guys. We love you. Source bless and namaste.